Welcome, everyone, to our third episode of our Never Sleep Again Halloween series. Tonight, we are going to talk about Zombieland. And to join me for this episode is my graphic artist, Robby H. Robby H., welcome back to our Halloween series.
Thanks for having me.
This whole idea, I want to just point that out to everybody, was Robby H's idea to do this month-long Halloween thing. And as soon as I see him again in person, I'm going to smack him. Now, so Zombieland is a great movie. Many people probably wouldn't think that we would cover that in our Halloween series. Although after last week's Tucker and Dale episode, you should have expected that we were going to do another funny movie before we get into some of the actual horror movies that we were going to cover. So Zombieland's a great movie. It has parts where it kind of acts as it can be a thriller. It's certainly a comedy. And I think it's one of the better zombie movies that have been made in the last. I mean, even in the last 20 years or so.
I agree.
And I want to start off with this one because I got to see Zombieland in the theaters on the midnight premiere. It wasn't even on the thing; it was the pre-release on the midnight showing at the theaters. So if you're watching this right now, leave us a comment. Where did you get to see it? Did you get to see it in the theaters? Did you wait to see it at home? Leave us a comment about where you got to see it. I got to see it in the midnight showing, and it was freaking amazing. They had the whole theater decorated and set up, and it was very much an event to go to. So I loved it. Did you get to see it in the theaters, Robby?
I watched it bootleg on my old laptop.
Going old school there. Yep. Watching it bootleg on the laptop, of course. Of course, we're using that term loosely for any federal agents who are listening. Of course, he doesn't mean that he pirated or anything. So let's move away from that. But yeah, I got to see it in the theater. I mean, anywhere you got to see it, no matter if you watched it at home or anything, it's still a great movie. And being that we were talking about doing sequels maybe for next year, maybe we'll talk about Zombieland 2 next year. So we won't get into that tonight. Who's your favorite character, Robby?
Man, it's got to be Tallahassee.
I would have to say so too. Yeah.
Nut up or shut up.
Yeah.
I said that for far too long. Uh, on my original Xbox 360 account, that was my motto on it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I would have to. I mean, I love Jesse Eisenberg, the guy who plays Columbus.
Oh yeah,
He's great. I mean, he's hilarious, and both the girls do amazing as well.
I
Even
think they
though,
have a great cast.
yeah, yeah, even the little girl walking around with her 22,
Yeah.
was great. They all did great. But yeah, I have to give it to Woody Harrelson, Tallahassee. He was definitely the one who kind of completed everything. He really brought everything full circle, I think, with his
Well, I
serious.
mean, I never thought I'd see Woody Harrelson be cool. Growing up, I mean, I seen him in movies, but he always played like dumbass parts, or he was in Cheers. So to actually see him actually be cool and awesome,
He
I
has
thought it was awesome.
he has quite the range.
He
Woody
does.
Harrelson. He has an amazing range, dude. I've seen him in the first True Detective series on HBO. He is
Mhm.
really great in that. I also liked. I mean, he's great in the Planet of the Apes series. Uh,
Yeah,
he's really good in a lot of the movies he plays. He is really good. Natural Born Killers. Is that right? Yeah, did I
I
get that
think
right?
so.
Yeah, I mean that's a cult classic, amazing movie too. Woody Harrelson is a really great actor, and he has an amazing range. He can play comedic, serious, psychopath. He's got quite an amazing range.
I I think he did a wonderful job.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the rules. Here, let me bring this up first. These are all the rules for the zombie apocalypse. So let's talk about what your favorite rule is. What is your favorite rule? Of course, we have rule one cardio. There's the backdrop of that one. Leave a comment with what your favorite rule is. I'm going to leave this up for a minute while Robby H and I discuss it so that people have time to look through it. And then if they want, they can leave a comment on what their favorite rule is. What's your favorite rule, Rob? Do you have a favorite?
I mean, the first rule cardio. I I thought it was hilarious because not a lot of zombie movies, and I mean, this isn't really a zombie movie. this movie takes place during the zombie apocalypse, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
But the cardio thing that nobody really talks about, like if a zombie apocalypse happens, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do all right. I'll survive." Blah blah blah. Man, us fat ass guys that has diabetes and all this stuff, we're not gonna last long.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, you got to, yeah. You do
So I
have to
mean, I
think
think
about
the cardio is
that. Yeah.
number one for a reason.
Yeah, I think so too. My favorite, I'm gonna have to go with the double tap. I think that if you're in a zombie apocalypse, making sure that the zombie is dead is important. Many people maybe consider it a waste of ammo, and if you have a handheld weapon, you can always finish them with your gun, and then the double tap with the knife or the axe or whatever you got. But I think the double tap is an important one. I think ensuring that the zombies are dead once you've moved past them is important. You don't need any sneaking up behind you. So that would have to be my favorite rule. Of course, some of these rules are really, really great. Don't name zombies, of course. That's great. I'm not really sure what number 12 there is. Bounty paper towels. I can't. I want to see the movie where we get to see where that one became a rule. That's for sure.
But I mean, they got some good ones on here, like be sensible with supplies. I mean, you have so many people that try to create like the bug out bags and stuff like that, and that's smart. But I mean, you can't sit there and walk around with the whole hiking pack and weighing you down 100 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, and I like number 31 personally too. Check the back seats.
Oh
That's
yeah,
that. I think that's a universal rule. I think that should be a universal rule across the board. I've seen horror movies that don't include zombies where people get in and there's someone in the back seat. So
oh
I
yeah.
think I think checking the back seat should be a staple.
I mean, every horror movie has it in it, just about.
Yeah. So always check it, even in real life, check it.
And I
And of
do
course,
like the Swiss Army knife
yeah, Swiss Army knife. I
because
like
it
number.
actually has a thing in parentheses. When I looked it up, it says the Swiss used the Swiss Army knife for a reason. And
Yeah.
I like that type of sense of humor.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And I like number 26, hand sanitizer. Number 25, a little sunscreen never hurt anybody. You know, so these are good. I like these. But I would still have to go with number 2 as my favorite. Leave a comment with what your favorite is, and look for us to post some of these visuals in the coming days. And leave a comment. We're trying to boost our reach and reach more people. So please leave a comment. That would
Well,
help us.
honestly, I've been reading through this list, and I think honestly, I'd have to change mine to number 17. Don't be a hero.
Don't be a hero. That gets changed at the end of that, right?
It does.
It
I
does.
know it does,
It
but I
becomes
mean,
be a
if you
hero.
think about it, though, I mean, it's 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 either take care of yourself or go.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen, where the hero usually dies. And I could even quote Harvey Dent, from The Dark Knight. You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So be a
So
hero, don't be a hero. I,
watching the movie, did you
yeah,
think that Woody Harrelson was going to die at the end when he was doing his whole shooting thing inside the game at the in the fair?
I had a thought maybe he might have, spoiler alert. Um, I thought maybe he was. I mean, it seemed like a movie that was so comedic, like and it was so well put together. And it seemed like the one thing that it did lack was a little tragedy.
Right.
So when he was in that final battle, I thought at least one of them. I didn't know if it was going to be Woody Harrelson, but I
I
thought
just had
one
a
of
feeling it
them
was
was
going to
going
be
to
him
go.
because
'Cause
Jesse, he was running up to the girls. You knew he was going to survive.
and he did that, and he was in his last stand. He was in that thing.
Right.
They were all surrounded. Yeah,
So
I thought that was his last stand too. Yeah.
so I mean, I don't know. I always thought Woody was. I was watching. I was like, man, he's going to get hit.
Yep. I thought so too. I'm like, oh, he's gonna go out guns blazing. You know what I mean? I thought he's gonna go out trying to keep all the zombies busy, or as many zombies busy as he can, while his friends make the getaway. So,
And I
I
never noticed that Amber Heard was in the movie until
was she where?
she's the neighbor that he kills it when he's telling his backstory, Jesse.
Oh my goodness.
She's the neighbor that got bit by the homeless dude.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I never noticed until the last
Nope.
time I watched it.
Oh my, I didn't even notice it until you just said it.
And I don't care what anybody says about her with the whole trial and stuff. I mean, she did good in that movie. She's done good on all the movies I've seen so far.
Yeah, no, she's not good. Yeah. She did fine in that movie. I'm not gonna. I won't bust her down for that. Especially since I didn't even know it was her. But yeah, let's not get into the Amber Heard situation. But yeah, I did not even know that she was in that though. Yeah, that's interesting. When I rewatch it, I'll make sure I pay more attention. Definitely didn't even notice it.
Yeah. And it started with my favorite song in the world, which is "For Whom the Bell Tolls" by Metallica.
Yep.
When it first comes on and you hear that bell ring, I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna love this fucking movie."
That is one of my favorite songs too. Episode idea for the future, Robbie. You and I are definitely going to get together now that we just said that, and we're going to talk some Metallica. So look for that sometime, maybe in November, December, or maybe early next year. That Robbie and I are going to do an episode, and we're going to talk some Metallica. That is definitely happening. We're talking about favorite songs and stuff, absolutely. So, where were we on this Zombieland thing? We just did favorite role, right? Favorite
Yes,
role.
sir.
Leave a comment with that. Did you have a favorite kill?
I did. I like the grocery store scene with the big hillbilly.
Yep.
I mean, you really don't see it, but I mean, it's still kind of badass.
Yeah. No, it's him strumming the banjo
Yeah.
through oh man, that was great stuff. For me, I'm gonna have to go. Spoiler alert, everybody! If you're still watching,
I know where you're going with it.
I'm gonna have to go with Bill Murray. I'm gonna have
I
to go
knew
with
it.
Bill Murray. Yeah, I got to. Listen, that is the Mayhem Media PSA of the day. Okay, during a zombie apocalypse, it is not a good time to play pranks on people. Okay, that is not the time for pranks. A little Ghostbusters shout out there for Bill Murray. But yeah, don't play pranks during the zombie apocalypse. You're gonna get shot in the chest with a shotgun.
And the fact that they were watching Ghostbusters, I loved it.
Yeah, and that's what I was like. I was like, he put the wig on. He's like, watch this. I'm like, no, are you kidding me? I'm like, Columbus is not gonna. He's gonna grab his shotgun and shoot you. He is the most careful guy in the zombie apocalypse. He's not gonna wait. He's not gonna be like,
I
oh,
didn't know. I thought maybe he would have froze.
are you? I knew he wasn't gonna freeze.
I thought he was gonna freeze and the girl was gonna shoot him.
Oh my goodness, no way. No, I knew he wasn't. I knew he was going to stand right up and pop a round right in his chest. I knew it. That's what I think. Like maybe Bill Murray would like the pause, like, oh no, I can't kill Bill Murray. You kidding me? Columbus is shooting on anybody. It doesn't matter. If he thinks you're a zombie, you're down.
See, I figured it was gonna be the girl at first because she didn't even know what Ghostbusters was, and
That's
Bill
true.
Murray walks up.
That. Yeah,
So
see,
I honestly thought that at first, but then I mean, it makes sense for Columbus to do it because I mean he's kind of like the oddball out of all of them.
yeah.
So,
Leave a comment. I didn't make a visual for that one. Leave a comment. Who did you think was going to shoot Bill Murray? Did you think it was going to be Columbus, or did you think it was going to be Little Rock? Leave a comment, and then in another episode sometime we'll discuss that more and discuss your comments. Yeah, I knew he was gonna stand up, grab his shotgun, boom, just what happened. I saw it before. As soon as he said, "Watch this," I'm like, no, Bill, no, Bill Murray.
I mean, I thought it was awesome. Woody Harrelson, like in Elvis, the Dale Earnhardt number on the side of vehicles. I mean, it was just a great movie.
Oh man, I'm so glad you brought that up, dude. Because Dale Earnhardt was my driver. When I was watching NASCAR growing up, and
I know it was all of y'all. So
I show you the tattoo. I have a tattoo on my left shoulder of with a number 3 and racing flags and stuff. So I have a Dale Earnhardt tattoo. Dale Earnhardt is my favorite. And that when I saw him have the number 3 on the side of his truck, I was like, this is my favorite character. This is going to be my guy right there.
At the house. Our cousin Jason at the house. He was staying the night, and his mama called the day that he wrecked. And that was the last time anybody stayed at the house, like talking about. Not because of that reason, it's just because I was getting older.
Yeah.
But I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're talking about when he wrecked Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. My dad, I didn't know. I mean, I saw the wreck. I watched the race. I didn't know it until my dad ended up calling me later, and he was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, did you hear about Dale Earnhardt?" And we had a conversation. That he was like, "Hey, yeah." No, yeah, I didn't know it at the time either. So yeah, when I saw him point the 3 on there, I was like, that's perfect. And then when he
It
got the
was.
yellow Hummer and painted a number 3 on the yellow Hummer, I was like, yes, that is absolutely right.
And I also love when he's driving down the road and he just opens the door and hits the
Yeah,
zombie.
and I love his rifle. I mean, having like a rifle that you can have like a sidearm right on your leg
It
like
was
that.
cool.
I'd like to get myself one of those, honestly. Like that's something I'd like to get myself like in real life. Like I've
Right.
looked at like 22s that are like smaller in size for me,
Mhm.
so that I can get my own gun. That's my problem with long guns is that they're too long
I got I
for
got a I got a Mossberg like that.
nice. Nice. See, I haven't figured out handguns yet. See, that's where we can relate this to the zombie apocalypse because see, that's where I'm going to be lacking. Is handguns aren't really great for me. I haven't figured out a way that I can use handguns. So in a zombie apocalypse, I'd have to be like a rifle or a shotgun, or use a rifle like kind of Woody Harrelson or something like that. I'd need a long gun, but not one that's like
But only if
super
they're
long.
scattered. I mean, if you really think about what's going on in the movies, the only time they really use the guns is when they're scattered in
Yeah,
any movie like that because the sound will attract them, all that shit.
exactly.
Um,
I'm not going to be much of a hand-to-hand fighter either, though. So
I
that's the other
understand
thing.
that, but
Well, this thing, I've thought about things. We can strap some blades onto my arms and onto the wheelchair and stuff. We can turn this chair into a zombie apocalypse tank.
hey, I got you. I got my shed right here.
Me and my brother J Man is what he goes by when he does do stuff for the podcast. We've talked about like putting chain fed 22s on the side of the wheelchair with like a lever or something that I can just pull and just.
There
So
you go.
yeah. They have to be 22s though. The frame of my chair wouldn't be able to handle anything larger caliber.
Hey, 22 would do great.
Yeah, they'll get the job done with zombies. You know what I mean? Especially if you're belt feeding them together, 2 of them. We'll drop some zombies. All right. Well, I don't have any other visuals. For that was what that's all I had planned for this episode. Please leave us a comment how you liked it and on some of the other stuff that we talked about. And stay tuned to next week. Next week we'll be doing our first live episode. We'll be talking about the Saw franchise, and then of course October 31st, Robby H will be back to join me for that one because we were going to talk about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We don't know exactly when that one's going to be live. Next week, the 24th, should be at about 8 p.m. We'll be going live to talk about the Saw franchise. But October 31st is Halloween, and it's trick or treat night for a couple of different places. Where Robby is, he'll be taking his son trick or treating. My nephew, I believe our trick or treat night is also the 31st, and I'll be going with my nephew trick or treating. So probably won't be until like maybe 9 or even 10 o'clock on the 31st when we go live with the Nightmare on Elm Streets. But we will be going live, but it will be a little bit later on the 31st due to our family obligations because family always comes first at Mayhem Media. So check out our storefronts. Let's get some plugs in right quick, Robby, before we bounce. Check out our storefront, bonfire.com/store/Mayhem Media shop, and pick yourself up some apparel. That is everything that we currently have on our storefronts, but we will be adding more stuff very soon. Actually, that isn't all of our stuff. We actually have another design or two that's not currently on there. I didn't update the visual. But go to our storefront, pick up something, and help support the brands. And Robby H is going to help me be bringing up more stuff here in the coming weeks as well, and before Christmas, especially Christmas. I have some ideas, and Robby H and I are gonna work on those. Try and get some stuff out for Christmas as well. So stay tuned to the storefront, and of course, check out the website. There's not a whole lot on there quite yet. We're still building and filling it out yet, but check out our website because that is where you will be able to find all of our content in its entirety is on our website, mayhemmediaproductions.com. And we'll also have written articles starting before the end of the year also. If everything goes well, we may even have them in as soon as the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we definitely will have them before the end of the year. So we are doing lots of things with Mayhem Media. Stay tuned to us, follow us, hit that subscribe button, share out our content, help us reach more people. That's what we need the most right now. And of course, visit the storefront and pick up something, help support us that way. Robby H, anything you wanted to add? I covered everything. Good.
I'm good.
All right. I just noticed also that I have the wrong tag at the bottom of my name through this whole episode. I got to start paying more attention to that. So of course that is our sister show, but we are Mayhem Media, so that's what it is, and that's what it should be. And I fix it right at the end. So until next week, when we go live for our Saul series, that is supposed to be me and the last outlaw, Jesse James, doing that episode. So stay tuned for that. And then, of course, like I said, the 31st, me and Robby H for A Nightmare on Elm Street. Until then, I am your host, JD. That's the end.